And it is the final week of the legislative short session, and lawmakers are talking about regulating data centers, more specifically, putting a one-year tax break moratorium in place for future facilities. Alma McCarty joins us now with a look at how we got here. Alma.
Yeah, well, Christine, the governor's been looking to expand what's called the Enterprise Zone program, which is meant to both grow Oregon companies and attract new investment to the state. But some worry that these incentives going to data centers isn't the right move in the long term.
So data centers have been around for a while.
And while not new in Oregon, they are growing.
Data centers are getting bigger and bigger. Some of these new AI hyperscale data centers are exponentially bigger than those tiny ones. And there's really just sucking up a lot of energy, a lot of water.
That's led to growing concern from groups like the Columbia Riverkeeper. Just last week, they released a report about data centers already operational or planned in both Oregon and Washington. Kelly Campbell is the policy director.
And I think the question becomes, do we want to have stick to our climate goals, getting to 100% renewable, or do we want to have these big mega data centers owned by big tech companies that are some of the most wealthy corporations in the world, getting to use whatever energy they want? And we would say, no, that's not okay.
On Monday, lawmakers in Salem amended an economic incentives bill to, in part, block new data centers from tax breaks for a year.
I think this moratorium is a pretty short pause to give the advisory council time and space to just do their work.
That team, convened by Governor Kotek, held their first meeting last Friday with the end goal of developing policy recommendations on the rapid growth of data centers. Here's what she told reporters last week.
There are some businesses who will need them, but freestanding data centers, the way we've been growing in the state, is not sustainable.
Those in support of data center growth, especially in rural communities, also weighed in on their impact.
This moratorium will have a disparate impact on communities east of the Cascades, communities like Prineville, Hermiston, and Redmond that have leveraged E-zones, and data centers bring hundreds of living wage jobs to each of their communities.
While data centers may be seen as a nuisance or inconvenient in Washington County, they are not in Crook County, and they are not in Morrow County, Umatilla County.
Now, even if the House and Senate approve the moratorium, it only applies to new data centers, not ones that have tax breaks already or ones currently in the works. Christine?
Yeah, we'll see what happens by the end of the week. Alma McCarty reporting. Thank you, Alma.